What is going on, guys? Today I'm out here at George Ward Park with a bag full of LSD, that being Lone Star disc. And so I've got just about their whole lineup here. I'm gonna come out here and play about 9 holes for you guys today and give you guys my honest opinion on what I think about them. So I'll show you guys what all I've got on hole 1. All right, so I'm over here on hole 1, and I just want to show you guys what all I've got from the Lone Star lineup. So first, what I'm going to be putting with today is the blue bonnet. I believe that's the V1 plastic. Yep, V1 plastic, so a little bit gummier. Then we got a couple of putters, and that's going to be, we got a penny putter in the glow plastic. We've got a Benny in the Bravo plastic, the gummier of the two. We've got, of course, an armadillo, and that's in the V1 plastic, also a little gummy. And then a alpha harpoon. These two gonna be our approach disc today. Oh yeah, and we got a bull snake. Keep in mind, I've never thrown any of these discs I think I've thrown a Dos Equis one time ever. I think that's the only disc out of these that I've thrown. I don't even think I've thrown an armadillo yet. All right, but anyway, for the mid-ranges, we have, of course, a midi. I believe one of the most popular mid-ranges. That's also in the glow plastic. Texas Ranger, one of their straighter mid-ranges. This feels more like, or alpha. Does not say on there. It feels somewhere in between Bravo and alpha. We got a glow walker, gonna be a beefcake, something like a Justice. Then a Bearcat for our flippy mid. That is Bravo. Then finally our drivers, we've got a Dos Equis glow, couple of Warbirds, a Lariat, Mad Cat, and I have no clue. Growler? What's a growler? I'm not sure. Like I said, I have not thrown any of these discs. This will all just be my raw reaction to all of these discs, and I'll give you my honest opinion on them. So this first hole is 340 feet, a slight turnover on a little bit of a slope. So we're gonna throw a couple discs on every hole just so we can get a feel for all of them. Obviously, we're not gonna be able to get a feel for how all of them fly, but we're gonna try. I think I'm gonna be throwing the Benny first. Flight numbers are 3402, and if that is true, I should be able to hit it on a little bit of ante and just let it flatten out. Do have a little crosswind here though. Did not hit it on ante. That's pretty money. That's like 15 feet. It's actually a lot more stable than I expected. Quite interesting. All right, now for the penny putter. I would say the penny putter kind of looks similar to a Roach. Discraft Roach is what I would compare it to. That's what it looks like they're going for, a Roach or a Luna. I believe this is just the understable version of that, or straighter version of that. So I'm gonna try to throw it on that same line, see if we can't get a little flip up out of it. Oh, a little flip we got. Holy crap. I don't know if I ripped over on that or if that is just way more understable than the Benny, but that was not even the same flight. We're gonna try the Bearcat too for our last throw. Oh, that's so flippy. That Bearcat is so flippy. I just threw that like maybe 60% on a good bit of hyzer and it just flipped over and then started turning. It could be that once it got on that ante, that hillside started sucking it down. I don't know, we'll throw it some more and see. Probably got like a 20-footer right here. See how the blue bonnets feel on a putt. I'd say that was all right. All right, I'm gonna be keeping score on my first shot on these. That hole got a birdie with the Benny. This hole is about 340 feet. Pretty dead straight, but you got a sloping hill that kind of likes to suck your disc down. So we're gonna go with a glow midi. Maybe flat, maybe a little bit of hyzer and let it hyzer into the basket. Hey. So now that dog is gone, so we're going with a glow midi. Okay, that is a lot more stable than I expected. Also gonna try to throw a Texas Ranger and a Benny at it. That did not flip up. Let's try to hyzer flip a penny putter. Oh yeah, that's the shot. Fade out. Oh yeah, that's like NC1. All right, we got like a 45-footer right here where the penny putter was like C1, maybe like 20 feet. A lot better of a throw. It's just hyzered out a lot. Just means we got a big stepper. Dadgummit. All right, we took a par on that hole, and this hole is a downhill 326 foot, either forehand or turnover backhand. We're gonna throw, for our first shot that we're keeping score on, I think we're gonna throw a forehand with the Mad Cat because it's a little bit windy. I don't know how much the Bearcat will hold up on that turnover. Put it on a little ante and just try to land it. It's pretty soft. Hyzer. That is, I'd say that's pretty money. Inside C1. This was a pretty decent shot. Pushed it a little too straight, so we found ourselves like backside of C1, a little long. If we just hooked up a little bit more, it'd probably be right under the pin. Play a 2. I want to take a second to talk about Lonestars plastic because I think it's some of the most unique plastic out of any brand, honestly. So it really doesn't feel anything like many of the other brands. It's all of it's very rubbery, I might say, especially their Bravo plastic. The Bravo plastic's really gummy and pretty rubbery feeling. And then their putter plastics are really where you see a lot of difference from other brands. Their putter plastics are very eraser feeling. They feel kind of like a cap eraser or something like that. But it's not in a bad way. It doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. It feels very premium. That reflects in its price. Very grippy too. Their putter plastic feels very grippy. Never feels like slippery, like it's gonna slip out of your hands. Even when it gets wet, it feels pretty grippy. But then their glow plastic would probably be my favorite. It's pretty gummy and it's very, very grippy, very tacky. Really some of the best feeling plastic out there. I just don't know too much about their disc, but I guess that's why we're out here today. So this hole is 330 feet, but a lot of times you'll see people go this big hyzer. Makes the whole play a lot farther. All right, I'm gonna try to throw the Mad Cat a lot lower. That's in the freaking woods. Get through. Actually, gosh. I'm gonna try a Warbird and see how overstable this is. Drop. That is just about parked. No way, that's awesome. There's this little island in the middle of all the sidewalk. Somehow managed to land in it. All right, took a par on that hole too, but we have made it to a hole that's kind of just a wide open shot where I can be able to throw all of these drivers and see how they fly. I'm gonna throw some of these to this short position, which is 407, and then some of these I'm just gonna rip on and see how they fly. I think I'm gonna throw the Dose X at the short position. Just throw it on a little bit of hyzer outright and just let it crash in. Holy crap. 100% did not expect that thing to turn like that. That is very surprising. If that Dose X turned like that, I'm not sure how this Lariat is gonna fly. I did get on it pretty hard. I'm gonna throw the Lariat too now. I'm gonna try to throw it pretty similar, maybe a little more hyzer and see how it holds up. Yeah, that's a lot of more hyzer. Nothing but an air diamond is flipping over on that amount of hyzer. I might just leave that there. I'm gonna try to hit this Mad Cat on a little flex and see how far we can push it. Might be a little bit past the basket. Really didn't hit it too well. Was a little bit nose up. Now we've got these two Warbirds. And what did I call this thing? A growler. Never looked up what the growler was. So we're about to just rip it and see. I would say it's flippy. Holy crap. Stop. At least the other T-pads over there. All right. These two discs, I know what they should do. They're supposed to be like overstable destroyers out the box. So we're gonna try to hit them on a little ante and just get a nice flex out of them. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Now we got, that was a Bravo one. Now we're gonna throw an Alpha. Also Warbird. Gosh, just stay up. Skip. That was decent. That was an interesting reaction out of some of those discs that I expected to be a little more overstable. But what I was just thinking is, I think a lot of the discs that kind of burned on me, there is a slight headwind obviously too, but a lot of the discs that kind of slightly burned on me are more gummy disc. And I think, I don't know if I'm crazy, but I feel like I found that sometimes the more gummy discs come with some weird torque out of your hand, or if you do have a weird torque, the more gummy discs are going to be amplify that torque. So I would be interested to see if like an alpha Dos Equis would act a little more overstable on that same, hitting it the same way. All right, Dos Equis is like 130 feet out or so. Perfect time to break out these approach discs. I'm gonna throw the Dillo first. Not a very good shot, to say the least. All right, Bull Snake, gonna hit it on a slight flex. That was a little bit cooked, and I'm gonna chip forehand this harpoon. Best shot out of the bunch by far. Skip in. Nope. All right, we're over here on hole 6, which is one of the cooler holes on the course. You got a right to left sloping. You got a right to left slope. I just said it again. You got a right to left sloping hill. Makes you have to throw something kind of, and you got a gap where you kind of have to flip something up through there. But at the same time, you don't want the hill to suck it down. So the Lariat was the disc that I was excited to throw on this hole and see how it flew. But I'm not sure how it flies considering how I threw it on that last shot. But yeah, it is 352 feet. I'd say that's pretty accurate. Plays a little farther because it's a good bit uphill. Probably plays more like 370, maybe even 380. Yeah, you're just gonna try to hyzer flip the Lariat up through there. A little too much. Oh my gosh. That thing just got smoked. I thought it was pretty good out of my hand. Did not flip quite as good as I thought. Let's try to throw the Dos Equis just on a little bit less hyzer. That's the shot. That is under the bucket. I'm gonna be honest, I'm taking that shot because it was such a good shot. I don't care if it wasn't my first shot. It was still a stinky shot, so I'm taking it. This is honestly one of the better shots. One of the better shots that I've, one, ever thrown on this hole, and two, ever seen on this hole. This is a little tap in. You don't normally see many people park it. You also don't normally see many people miss those putts, but I almost did. All right, this is hole 7, I believe. Yes, hole 7 is 345 feet, but you got a really low ceiling. You got to sneak up under, where I would normally on a shot like this probably throw a hex or a buzz, whatever I have in the bag at the moment, one of those straight mid-range slots. 345, I'd probably be throwing a PA3. You've got to disc up to, sometimes I even disc up to a fairway here, just because you got to sneak up under the trees and it's a little bit uphill. So I'm going to try to throw the Dos Equis and the Texas Ranger at it. This Dos Equis is a good flyer, just not quite as overstable as I was expecting. Did not flip up that much that time. Put it on a little too much hyzer. Oh my gosh. I thought that joker was about to roll all the way back towards the basket. I'm gonna try the Texas Ranger, probably on that same line because it'll probably flip up a little more and turn. Just like that. Go! No, clipped a branch. That's still money. If you haven't noticed by now, player 2 has quietly taken over the round and is now playing. All right, over here on hole 9, which is gonna be our final hole of the video, I just wanna talk about some of my favorite discs that I've been throwing out of this lineup today. Obviously, I do really like the Dos Equis. It's a really good disc, not exactly what I thought it was gonna be, but I have had to learn to like a disc for how it flies, not what I expected it to fly like when I got it. That has really helped me to not trash disc as soon as I get them. Then for the putters, I really like the Benny. It was more stable than I expected, a lot more stable than I expected actually. I really didn't expect, I expected it to be a hyzer flip putter, but 342 I would say is probably pretty accurate flight numbers wise. For the mids, I really like the Bearcat. It is, even though it's pretty flippy, it's like a fun flippy, you know? Flippy mid that you can kind of like just flip up and turn. It's always a fun flight. And then the Lariat. Another one of those discs I expected to be a little less stable, but honestly, I like what it's at right now. It's more like a 9.5 -1.2, which I like better because if a 9-speed actually flew 9.5 -1.1, that's flippy. Being a 9-speed with the -1.1, you're gonna have a lot more left to right movement the higher speed you get, so you're never gonna find a true 9.5 -1.1 just because of the nature of how discs work. Then the Blue Bonnet feels really good in my hand. I really like the plastic. And like I said, feels really good in my hand. I really wanted to putt with these for a little bit, and I really tried. They just don't have enough glide. They feel like it kind of feels like you're putting with a brick. Kind of just falls out of the air, which I putt with a PA3. Those fall out of the air too, but these felt like they fell out of the air more. I'm about to get a couple more throws to finish off the video for you guys. All right, playing to the long pin again on this hole. 350 feet straight up this hill. Plays more like 420 or 430 instead of 350. So I'm gonna throw the Bearcat at the short pin and then the Lariat and whatever the heck this thing was at the long pin. Growler, I keep forgetting what that's called. I'm gonna go Growler first up at the long pin. That thing is so flippy. Holy crap. Stop. He's coming back down. Park the short. That joker, slippier than my I-blend Pharaoh that I throw. And holding it, honestly, I would have expected it to be more like a S-curve bomber destroyer type mold. I'm gonna throw the Lariat at it, probably that same line. Oh! Holy crap. Oh! That was dirty. All right, final throw of the video. We're gonna throw the Bearcat into the short basket to end it. Holy crap, that thing's flippy too. That's parked. That's gonna do it today, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.